everybody, Pam SD Mini Costuming. This will be the last video on our change from the Hot Toys body to the Phicen or TBLeague soft body for Wonder Woman. And it's the Wonder Woman BVS. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about all the tools I use. So I'm going to go over here. This is the body. It is, as you can see down here, TBLeague, and this is the size. It's a medium bust, and that's the model number. So if you want to order one, now remember that this suntan is not the right color. So I'm going to go over here and pan out. This is all the things I used in order to get what I needed. Mostly I used this color and this color, and sometimes a little bit of this color to darken the body. Every now and then, like on her butt cheeks and maybe her knees, I used a little tiny bit of some pink, my big brush. And these are things you'll need. I use these to nip off plastic when I need to, the occasional scissor when you need to cut a piece. Handy dandy little handheld Dremel, rechargeable. 30-second rapid fuse. These are a pair of hemostats. I love these things. They're great for little tiny things. And this is the knife I prefer. And then, of course, a toothpick to move around. Glue. So let's go over here and talk about the original body. Here's the original body. And you can see that without the costume on it, it's not that great. But it worked really well inside the figure. I still have another figure that has this body. All of this tucked down inside. And the costume came up in here. And you can see, even right now, this joint wants to pop out. So if you watched my very first video, I talked about why the skirt was out of alignment. And it's because that hip continually does that thing where it pops back out. So it's a fairly dark body. And I just didn't like the fact that I could not articulate the body in the costume the way you can when it's not. I'm sure I'll use this for some other project where I don't care about all of this. Just get ahead. So let's go on. This is the first body I used. Let's move that out of the way before we get over there. This would be a TBLeague large bust. It came off of a figure called Headhuntress. And you can see it came with a stain from the costume. I wasn't all that thrilled with that, but I thought, you know what, it's going to be under the costume, doesn't matter. So I did a lot of experimenting around in here. You can see these dark patches. These are places where I experimented with the color. It's always a good idea to experiment underneath what'll be covered up later. Got a little flint on it. Now I have handled this body a lot, and I have not had any of it come off on my hands. I did find, though, that if you use regular Scotch tape, you can kind of get some of this to come off and lighten up. But she's going to need a full wash, and I'll probably talk about some other video about getting this stuff off. So let's go over here to the actual body. Now this is the color that it started out as. I'm going to put it over here, right in here with her neck, so you can see the difference in the color, how much darker I got it. Let's focus that a little bit. So this is the new body. This is a medium bust. I worked really hard at getting all of this to fit, and I think we did a pretty good job. The bust is the most important part to me, so I'll slide this over so you can see how much better this fits her under her arms. And I'll turn around the back. Kept the back of the costume intact, but took quite a bit. Got one hand, let me move her arm a little bit. There we go. Took quite a bit out of the sides. So you can see that the seam is in the same place it would have been. I cut probably 3/16 of an inch out of each side and put it back together. The skirt proved to be a little more difficult than I expected, but everything's where it belongs. And in the front, went back and made sure everything was right back where it went to. I put part of the skirt onto the costume before I put it on the figure. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of this other stuff out of the way.